Hey, what's up everyone? This is the Farming Sims and I'm on East Vineland, New Jersey for the Farmers of Vineland dedicated server. It is the last day of December 21. We are in winter and we've progressed through fall, autumn, and I thought I'd give you an update on the map quickly. Quick run around and show you how things have progressed on the supply chain crisis challenge. Chickens are doing well. We've got some eggs here. They've been multiplying, so we've got 201 chickens. We started with 50. I bought an extra 50 adults, so we purchased 100, and they have bred 100. We have one rooster, by the way. We are playing somewhat realistic, so once the eggs pallets are full, they have to be sold because they're perishables. So anything like bread has to be sold straight away. Our pigs are doing well. We now have 140 animals. It's a 350 capacity pig pen, so I put what I usually do is 1/10, so I put 35 in, and each month for the first 4 months I put 35 in. Once they mature, because they're piglets, they take 4 months to gestate and give birth, so every month we'll get 35 piglets, and then that will cycle back around to every month 35 piglets. So we will have a steady stream each month of births. Once that starts cruising along, we'll be good with the pigs now. Got a bit of straw there from a harvest that we did. We have canola straw on the map, and soybean. Does it do soybean straw as well? I think so. We had a field of it's canola. We did canola straw. We have some manure already. 7,580. That's just from a few months since September, and we also have slurry in here, which is 17,900 slurry. So that's just from piglets. A lot of people think that the piglets don't really produce manure and slurry while they're growing, but they do, just not very much. I wouldn't say that that's been very much at all, but it was worth putting in the manure bunker straight away just to get that rolling. What do we have here? We have canola. This was a field that we planted. We put cover crops on all of our fields, and that gave us the 100. After cutting the grass here, and then ploughing it up and putting canola in, so that's at maximum yield, except for mulching, I believe. We purchased field 10, which was soybeans, from our income from contracts, and we put a cover crop in, which gave us the fertilizer state, and then we put a winter cover crop in of grass. So both of these fields, 9 and 10, we started with 9. This was corn, harvested it, put a cover crop down. The following month we cultivated that in, and then put a grass cover crop for winter. We picked up I'll focus on some of the second-hand equipment that we've been lucky enough that's turned up in the used vehicle store. The rule is that from August to August, we can't buy supplies or new vehicles. We're restricted to used vehicles only, and we can only use the supplies that we started with in August. Once we roll around to August, we'll have a new farm manager. There are 8 players on the server, and the new farm manager will be designated to deal with the next year. So while we're here with sheep, will it give me an update on sheep here? No, it won't. I have to go all the way around. We got lucky with a pipe with an auger. This is an auger out. So we picked up this second hand, and we have a little bit of canola in here. We were restricted by sunflowers. We were using as sunflowers, this one. But there was really no sunflowers on the map when we started. 2 very small fields. And one of them we didn't get the harvest on contract because the yield was so low. In hard mode on this map, the yield has to be 83% or better, otherwise you can't complete. And therefore, if you can't complete the AEI, the game says, well, we'll just won't give you the harvest contract. So we got one of the 2 sunflower fields, and that was only by purchasing it to guarantee that we got a little bit of sunflower, which we really needed. And then we've got our cornfield here, plus a corn contract, I believe, a small corn contract. And in this last one is the soy, again from our own field that we purchased on field 10. Now, all of those products have been used both in the pigs that we're feeding manually. We're not buying pig food. Well, we did in August. We bought a couple of bags to get started. I'll come back to the vehicles. Got some front loader equipment here. Excellent workshop. I'll come back to that in a sec. Got some grass bales floating around here. Is it grass? Yes. And we're set up for someone to do some forestry. There's been some trees already cleared in here, and we'll work this back towards the edge of the map. We have how many? 125. So what we put in here was 25 adult sheep, and we did that 5 times. It takes 5 months for the sheep to gestate. So just like the pigs, once they start breeding, they'll breed 25 every month. And so that will be a continuous cycle of growth there as well. So every month we'll have sheep births and pig births. We're also getting chickens every month as well. The gestation period there is 2 months, and we bought 2, obviously, to get a continuous cycle there as well. Our feed is easy for these, just some grass. So we did have a bale here, so it's already gone through the bale. So we'll drop another bale here from over there, and that'll continuously keep them full. Our wool, once we've got a full pallet of wool, we deliver that to the township spinnery, and the spinnery is running, turning into fabric, and the fabric's being turned into clothes. We'll come back to that shortly. We got this is our supplies that we're left with after halfway. We're halfway through the year, so we basically used almost all the lime we had. We got these probably are not even full bags, to be honest, and a half over there. But we do have lime for production. The map has a lime production, so we've got stones being crushed into lime. This is our fertilizer, stack of fertilizer, but the fertilizing contracts haven't really cycled around. We were in harvest season, and we haven't had to really use much fertilizer. A couple of fertilizing contracts, but not many. We didn't have to use much on our own fields, but we used a little. But with the cover crops, that meant that at best we only had to do one, and we've used a fair bit of seed actually on seeding our own crop, our grass. But we should have enough seed here for at least for our own fields. I'm worried because we're coming into spring and we're going to have a lot of seeding contracts. And so what we should have done is probably bought more seed. We are in a position to create seed. We can put in a seed production, and that converts wheat and barley, but we don't have any of that. And we'll look at that when we have a look at the menu in a minute. We've gone through quite a bit of fuel as well, which was starting to concern me, but we've got diesel production up and running already, which is amazing. I can't believe we got that done and running in first year. It wasn't a lot. We were restricted by the sunflowers, but and we haven't had any need really to weed yet with the herbicide. So this seeder is quite good. 6 meters, doesn't have a huge capacity, but it's direct drill, and it's quite good. Direct drill with fertilizing. Headers over there. This little workshop is really good. It works like the map workshop, where we can not only repair but we can repaint and we can sell. That's good. I really like it. Jump in here. A little bit jittery through the door. Okay, I'm going to assume you might have watched the previous setup video where we started, but we did a huge potato contract, which netted us an extra, what was it, an extra 40,000 all up, I think, with some that went into the pigs. Must have been about 34,000, something like that, extra. So this is potato storage. Got a little bit of fuel here. So here's some of our used equipment we picked up. We picked up a second harvester for an 8-player multiplayer right at the start. Obviously, we couldn't afford 2 of them, but we've already picked up a second. All of our second-hand gear, very cheap, obviously. Second-hand stone picker. We got this the other day. That's a great pickup. Honestly, we were doing stone picking by this bucket here, Lizard STC 240. Lets you pick up stones, potatoes, and sugar beets, I think. The problem with the harvester is that we don't have the second header, so we have one, obviously, that can do standard crop, and over the back we have a corn header over there. So we can have 2 running on 2 different crops. But this was something that we couldn't go past, the second one. Anything that was purchased secondhand got a Vineland number plate. So we picked up an extra tractor, 4440. Again, nice little tractor, 150-ish horsepower. This we got yesterday. So we had a problem with our tiny little, what were they, PH mini sugar beet harvesters. They wouldn't work on the contracts, and we didn't have our own sugar beet fields, so they were kind of useless. We were planning on holding onto them and buying a small field of sugar beets next year, and probably getting the sugar mill up and running. But this dropped yesterday in the second-hand store, $40,000 for the rooster. We have no need for it right now, but next year or later on this year we will, and that'll bring sugar beet contracts onto our list for jobs to do, and it will save the farm manager in August having to buy one of these for $100,000 brand new. So picking it up for 40 was a bit of a bargain right now. Our potato harvesters, 2 of them, they got a fair bit of work. Mulcher mower, we already had the roller behind. We picked up a weeder. This is top of the line weeder, but again, better than half price. The balers had a fair bit of work. Same too as the wrapper, tedder. This is all our starting gear here. We haven't had any need to spray yet for weeds, and we've taken the opportunity to prioritize all of our ploughing contracts. So this one in the front here, much better. It's the 13 shank setup at the moment for 130 horsepower. Its default, I think, is 15 or 7. It goes up to 17 shanks, 170 horsepower. 170 horsepower for 17, 150 for 15, and we've got it in its smallest configuration, so all of our tractors can use it. But it's actually better than the chisel here. This is the famed 9 chisel. But it doesn't seem to go as wide as what it should. We seem to miss a row quite often on this one. Instead of hitting a 5th row, we regularly only hit the 4 rows across the front and not the 5 rows across the back. So it makes a huge difference if that's happening to us on really big jobs. So that extra row just hurts a little. We had 2 of these. We've sold. Well, we picked up this one here that we own here. This we bought secondhand, and the 2 that we purchased at the beginning of the game, we sold $6,000 each. I think we sold them for. This one here was worth like $1,500 secondhand. So we got lucky with that one as well. If another one pops up, we'll buy the 13 shank and sell that one. With 4 tractors, it's not bad having 2 or 3 of these plows, but we've already done all the plow work. I'll show you the map shortly. Cultivators, not a lot of work on the cultivators. Both of them were brand new, by the way. There's nothing wrong with these cultivators. That's the Case IH 45. They're pretty good. I did some work with them, so I don't have any complaints with them. We might want something a little bit bigger later, but mainly ploughing work was our transport attachment to our flatbed trailer, and our planter, our starting tractor, the Case. All right, so let's jump onto the. So in the menu, the township challenge is to keep the township from going bankrupt. They started with $50,000 and they're down to 35. We've actually sold a little bit of bread to them. We own the grain mill, and we processed some flour, sent that down to the township bakery, and some bread is keeping that. Each month they're producing a pallet of bread, so that's giving them a little bit of income. Like I said, the lime, we've produced 8,700 from stones that we've collected, which is great, seeing we've almost run out of lime. And then the diesel factory has actually created almost 20,000 litres of diesel. that means from what I purchased at the beginning of the year, I purchased 20,000 litres of diesel. So I've already got 20,000 in the bank for the farm manager next year. So hopefully we won't have to use any of it. Hopefully I've bought enough. But if we haven't, we've already got some here. Next year we'll actually produce some more diesel next year and get a decent amount in storage, so we never have to worry about buying diesel again that way. Sunflowers we'll plant. We already have canola in the ground with a little bit in the bin, and we have 18,000 of soybean already in the bin. So maybe a small field of soybean when we come around to planting, but we'll chase corn. We'll chase corn, sunflowers, and soy. We've got canola sorted for the moment, but they'll be our 4 main crops. We'll want a grain crop, and depending on whether we get any grain contracts or enough of them, we might put a field of them in. We do own a couple of fields now. So through winter, I've been checking in on the contracts. There's nothing through winter other than we got a cultivating contract, a couple of plows. And we've been focusing on those ploughing contracts, as I said. So this is the animal setup for starting up with. No, let's look at the map. We have nothing in the ground at the moment other than our own canola field, which is here, and then wheat and barley. And then all of them, well, I can show you grass. On this map, on Vineland, it does give you 2 options on the grass. This is just the field grass. So as you can see there, we own 9 and 10 and planted grass. There were 3 starting fields on the map, these 3, 47, 94 and 105 were all grass fields. And then we bought 89, which was the little sunflower field that we needed to secure. Couldn't afford to miss sunflowers. If we missed that small amount of sunflowers, we would have missed diesel production. And we picked up field 104. It was very cheap and it had soybeans in it. And I was happy to pick up, no, it had canola in it, sorry. And I needed the extra canola because we missed out on some canola contracts. Most of the canola was bad yields, less than 83%. So every field that we could harvest, we did. Every field that we could plow, we did. So looking at the map, there's some growing, of course, and there are all of the grain crops. These are 4 barley fields that were right at the start of the game that we didn't do the ploughing contracts on them way back when we started in August. I didn't realize how important those ploughing contracts are. Basically, we've done every ploughing contract available since then. And what that means is the yield bonus will be it will be good. If we get the fertilizing done contracts on the field, and we take any weeds off, then the fields will basically be 98% fields, and we'll get a maximum yield off our contracts, and they won't disappear on us. As soon as you lose the 15% from a plow needed, then you're at 83, and then you're in danger of losing the contract altogether. Looking at the cash flow, we've had some they're baling contracts that we've sold the extra bales on, so we've had some decent income there. You can see what I spent in seed costs and fertilizer costs there at the beginning. I also bought a couple of straw bales to throw into the pig pen straight away. So there's something there. That fertilizer cost is not just fertilizer. It added the Diesel IBCs to that list. So that was split between diesel and fertilizer. And then our harvest incomes, they're just at the bottom there. They're just little bits extra that were delivered during contracts. In October, someone sold a little bit too much of something, maybe. But we were trying to hold on to as much overflow crop as we could. Contract income, August was a short month. It was on half speed, and we just wanted to try and get a little bit of wheat and barley before it disappeared. But contract income has been pretty steady. As you can see there, that's where we've spent that money on some vehicle purchases and some land. The land really came from miscellaneous there. The 1.2 million, that was given to us by the town to get the town at the beginning down to 50,000. All of the money from the township goes to the co-op farm. It gave us a bit more than our 1.5 million to start. It gave us more like 2.7 million to start. It let us, with the price of land on this map, which is extremely high, it gave us some fields to begin with. And then, for example, just the block of land that we built the farm on cost us 450,000 just for that slab. And then the 329 and the 204, that was collectibles. Everyone ran around and found the collectibles on the map, and you got some bonuses. You got some decent bonuses if you got the whole collection. So we got a couple of collections which gave us $100,000 bonus. Yeah, so that really helped us out on the start. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it would be a little bit more of a grind at the beginning. But essentially what that gave us was basically the two fields, the couple of fields that we bought. The 329 and the 204, if you have a look at the land costs, we started with field 9 only, and we purchased 300,000 on field 10, and we purchased 132,000 on field 89, and 124,000 on field 104. And we also have this little one down the bottom here, which is 74, and 151, which we purchased, which was 64, little tiny forestry plot that is available for everyone to go and chop down during winter. But no one's taken that offer and run with it. The blue is owned by the township, and so each of their productions are here on the township. And that's the bakery down here. We own that was for the diesel factory there. The BGA and the sell points were free. Just reviewing, we spent a significant amount on land, and that really came from that. That really came from the collectibles. I'm just going to jump across to the township quickly and just show you what's happening over there. Okay, we're logged in as admin. It lets me jump between both of the farms and not lose farm manager rights. I did put a password on the township. It just stops the players from switching between the two unless they really need to for some reason, because they will lose farm manager rights if they do. So I didn't want them just to be able to flick in between the township accidentally and then realize, oh damn, I lost my privileges. So so that's protected. And if I sign in as admin, I can join between the two. It says I'll lose permissions, but I obviously don't. And that makes life a little bit easier. As the farm manager, next year's farm manager will have the same ability, and it'll be their responsibility to jump in every now and then and just check in and see how the town is going. It's not like they have a lot of work to do. You can go and sell the bread. We don't have to transfer money in between the farms. We just need to keep the township alive. And as you can see there with the bread, they've still got 5,800 flour with some storing. They actually make 2,000 litre pallets at this bakery, so halfway into another one. If the players want to get the sawmill back up and running, it'll distribute planks to the carpentry. And the carpentry's running nicely. It's got 8,000 furniture stored away there with wood and planks still running. So it's not urgent that anyone goes and does forestry, but if that slows down a little, it could probably do with a little bit more wood in there. But if it does, I'll post a message in the Discord and say, hey, the township would like some more wood, please. But until then, everyone's good. The wool we've already delivered a pallet each month. We should be able to deliver a pallet each month, and then it's distributing the fabric straight to the clothes. And it's $8.24. It's on its way to a pallet of clothes. The food, clothes, and a bed to sleep in. And this will be our big ticket item, I think. We'll get to the end of the year and we'll sell all the furniture, and hopefully that'll put the township on track for actually a profit for the year. They've still got their loan, which is hitting them with interest. Well, we're almost at the end of the month. I can tell you that I think is $16.60 for the month in interest. Each month they get hit with 3,000 property maintenance. That's just a cost of month-to-month cost of running the town is $3,000, and their production costs end up being about $500 a month. That should do us for this update, this winter update.